Friends of Truth, Justice, and the American Way. This is a follow-up video to my visit to the town clerk's office yesterday to review FOIL information. I had the opportunity to speak with the town clerk and with town attorney Dennis Sheehan. Although Mr. Sheehan denied that he was in the clerk's office to moderate and monitor my FOIL review, I don't know what else he was doing there. So anyway, I just got to say that going up to the town clerk to review FOIL stuff, it's like buying a car. There's always a bait and switch. You know, I received an email. I have it in front of me right here. You know, August 18th from the town clerk, right? And it explained what information was supposed to be ready for me to review. And when I got up there, as usual, the first thing they wanted me to do was look at a pile of stuff that I wasn't prepared to look at because they never notified me that it was ready. And it turns out that the information that I was supposed to review, none of that was there for me to review. All right, I'll explain it to you. What I thought was interesting was the first thing I got was when I was shown to my little desk where I'm going to sit and review my stuff. There's a copy of this email here. It was just printed out from Jim Altadonna's assistant. You know, it's from the Committee on Open Government. It's to the town clerk, and it says, "Good morning, Jim. As per our telephone conversation, I'm confirming that there are no requirements in the Freedom of Information Law or corresponding regulations that either you or a member of your staff sit with an applicant for records while they inspect the records." Now, I just want to explain that I've never been anything but professional when I go up to review these records, right? It wasn't me that wanted to become friends, and I didn't show Mr. Altadonna pictures of my retirement home in Virginia and, tell him stories and introduce him to my children and, explain to me how the town attorney, it's so difficult to get information that he wants to provide to me, and different departments in the town, they don't cooperate, they don't listen to him, and he really wants me to get the information, but that's all bullshit, all right? He knows what he's doing. He's a smart individual. Anyway, just to get into yesterday's meeting, to start off with, if you're following along, I previously received these letters that they tried to get out of. The town clerk didn't want to provide me with certified statements, okay, for specific items that I'm asking for. So they allege that 27504, 27505, and 506 were all duplicate. Well, they no longer maintain their duplicate. Now they're answering. They've answered a couple of them. I got a couple of the certified statements. You'll see them in a couple of minutes. But 180 on that. Now, I mentioned that Dennis Sheehan was their town attorney because I questioned both Mr. Altadonna and Dennis, specifically on the town clerk's responsibility to provide us with the transcripts of the executive session minutes for September 6th, because there was action taken. Six attorneys are leaving the town. I'd like to know who they are. Maybe one of them is Len Genova, who knows? Right? Why are they leaving? I don't know. What was discussed in the executive session? We're entitled to know. I pointed out to the town clerk and to Mr. Sheehan that the recent Newsday decision, it's very clear on what the town clerk's responsibilities are. He's supposed to publish that in 1 week. I also questioned Mr. Altadonna about the removal of the numerical references in regards to the resolutions on the town's webpage. And ironically, in regards to both of these issues, the minutes, the transcripts of the executive session, and the removal of the numerical references, James Altadonna, the town clerk, told me that I had to speak to a different department, to Intergovernmental Affairs, I believe he called it. So after completing my FOIL review, I tried to contact that office, and I spoke to a couple different people, and it turned out that it's the town clerk who's responsible for all this. I knew that from the very beginning, And in the next breath, Mr. Altadonna has the nerve to say to me, you don't believe a word I say. Boom. Geez, why should I? All right, let me get into what was done with the foils now. Okay, so I got up to the town hall, and what I expected to see was, this is foil number 19482. This is the information that I won the town appealed my Article 78 victory. And they lost their appeal. Now, I've been up to the town 3 times to see this information, and each time there's been some story that it's not available or whatever it is, but I still haven't got it. This one here, 22-799. These are all the closed summonses and related court informations. All right, this one goes back quite a ways also. This is another one that they went and they had the wrong documents, or I looked at some stuff, they were going to make copies, and all right, that was supposed to be ready too, it wasn't ready. 25075. These are notices of violations and court informations prepared by our friend Inspector Nicholas Domingo. All right, this stuff's supposed to be ready for me too. This is like 3 visits on this. 25064. All right, these are transcripts that were done. This is from May 215. There's a letter that it's ready. Okay, August 216. It took them that long to respond to that. It wasn't there. It wasn't ready. 25071. Got an email from Mr. Aldadano that it was ready. It wasn't there. It wasn't ready. 27407. Got a letter from the town that it's ready. He didn't have it there. 27458. This is another one. This is a simple backup from a resolution. August 4th. Got the town. Got the letter. It was supposed to be ready. It wasn't there. All right. Now, the rest of these are just ones that he just hasn't gotten around to answering yet, or he's got some baloney excuse on. This one's from 213. This is to review Donna Swanson's building file. Never got a response on that. This one here is for the New York State Controller prepared financial condition reports. Now, this is the information that the town clerk is telling me the town attorney and other departments in the town won't provide him with. They're ignoring his request to get these documents. Meanwhile, it turns out that it's his responsibility to maintain these documents. Now we're supposed to believe that he actually did it. I can't believe he did it. But he's actually foiling the documents that he's responsible to maintain from the Office of the New York State Controller. None of it makes sense. The only thing that makes sense is they don't know what to release to me. They want to see what they get from the comptroller. This way, they won't give me any more. Come on. Here's another one, January 19, 216. No response on that. There's 5 of them in here. March 215, no response on any of them. May 18, 215, no response. July 30th, 215, no response. January 12th, 216, no response. January 14, 216, no response. January 21st, no response. These ones are fairly August. These are fairly new. These ones are within the time frame. A couple other things I need to point out. I was allowed to review some building files yesterday. Okay, there are a handful of FOIL requests that were completed because they let me look at the building files. I'll get in that in a second. But there was some shenanigans being played that, for instance, on this one here, I had a FOIL request in to review the building file for this property, 1 Dolphin Drive. This is Frank Antonomaso's property. But this is one of the FOILs that Mr. Altadano alleged was duplicated, but then changed his mind about. Okay, I was requesting specific certified copies, or if these specific documents didn't exist, a statement saying that they didn't exist, certified. Now, for some reason, Mr. Altadano felt that by allowing me to review the building file, that satisfied this request. But I disagreed, and now we're waiting on the certified statement, which, ironically, there was a statement from Deputy Commissioner Tim Zeik on the file that he reviewed the file and none of this information was in the file. But the town clerk refused to provide me with that certified statement yesterday until he spoke with Tim Zeik. I don't know what that's about, but all right. This is another one, 27503. We're waiting for the certified statement. Okay, this is another incident where I was allowed to review the building file for 150 Hicksville Road, that's Singleton's, Horrendous Things Restaurant. But I also asked specifically to have certified copies or the statement for these specific documents. Somehow, you know, I was supposed to look at the building file and that was supposed to make this okay too. No, I want the certified statement. All right. This one here is 26648. This is Linda Mondello's work history, which is, I'll get into that in a whole separate video. But specifically, I asked for the information on the 501c3, the not-for-profit. And, you know, first the town clerk tries to tell me that the town doesn't maintain those records. Come on, you just showed me a pile of documents like 2 feet high. And in those documents, it explains that Linda Mondello, in her capacity as the historical preservation consultant, she orchestrated the entity, the not-for-profit. She made it. It's her not-for-profit through the town. Okay, it's not an individual not-for-profit. It's not hers. I hope it's not hers. It's the town's. How could the town have a not-for-profit? That's a whole nother story, but in any case, we're waiting for the certified statement that the town doesn't have those tax returns. All right? Now, what I did get yesterday, I asked for, now this is kind of weird, 27504, okay, this is 135 Stillwater. I was allowed to look at the building file, and they produced a certified statement that the stuff I'm looking for, the specific stuff, doesn't exist. All right, they did it yesterday while I waited. All right. This is 27506. This is the same one. This is, this is 2 Dolphin Drive. This is the Beach Club, all right? This is another one that they tried to say was duplicated, but now they gave me the certified statement, all right? I'm sorry, this one's done yesterday. The other one was done a little bit earlier. All right, now, I was allowed to look. These are all building files. This is the building file for 1 Dolphin Drive. This is Frank Antetomaso's building file. Now, this is the 3rd time I'm seeing this gentleman's building file, and every time I see it, it's different. You tell me what's going on. It gets bigger and bigger every time I see it. So we're waiting for the certified letter that specific material is not in there. These were all completed. These are requests to review the building files of various town officials and offices in Len Genova's political club in my neighborhood here. Now, every house here was destroyed by Superstorm Sandy. I looked through every building file, and not one of them has any permits or any work related to construction after Superstorm Sandy. This top one happens to be Barry Breeze. There's nothing in there for Barry's pool, nothing for his deck in his backyard, and there's nothing for his 12 or 15-foot high fence, whatever it is. I don't know. I'm thinking about cross-referencing the lack of permits with maybe insurance claims on the homeowners. That would be interesting. All right, so that's basically what I got. You know, I didn't get anything that I thought I was going to get. I got to look at these guys' building files. That was the extent of my foil yesterday. So I'm going to follow up today with the town clerk through an email. You know, he seems to be confused about what he's supposed to be giving me or whatever, so maybe we can get on the same page. And we'll just keep plugging away, and I have a couple of things I want to discuss regarding the Singletons, summonses, and Mrs. Mondello's work records, but those will be separate videos. All right, have a good day, folks.